Muskoka, Ontario. Ruth, portrait of a farmhand.
They are going to be all in there. Let me get the bottles ready too. And I can do it, and then we're going to shift it. Come on inside. It's not snowing in there. Otherwise it's the same when I come back, so. Little lambs. I'll go over here. Okay, little one, I know. Okay, yeah, you push them. They're not yours. Okay. Okay, I know. You want something too? Oh, you can't have anything. Okay? Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah. So I need to find number 24's mother and hook her up to the mother, because mother only has stuff on one side and she doesn't stand still. Okay, where's 24? You go in there and Diane is known for high quality produce. She has an excellent standard of her produce. The people demand it and they get it. So you have to work to uphold that quality. Little lamb. Little lamb. Okay, where do I have 100? Number 5 gets 100. Number 7 gets this. A lot of people say I live for the day, but they don't. Most people live in the future. I don't. This is what I'm doing now, and that's what's important. Never mind tomorrow. Don't know if you're still there tomorrow. I do live, you make plans in a way, but you can't live yesterday and you can't live tomorrow. You can only live now and do it. Children do that. It's a beautiful way to live. I wake up, I know I'm alive. Okay. I grew up during the war in Germany, and I realized that everybody is afraid for their own life, no matter what station they have in life, whether it's a CEO or whether it's a priest or whether people are religious or not. Everybody is afraid for their own little life. And makes you cynical, but that's okay. Realistic. How can you not love them? All this fluff, you've got this big plant with the seeds and the fluff on it. You take it out, then you put it through here like this, and then make sure you only have fluff, and that goes here, and then you go like this to get these little ones out. Have them. What I'm doing now is, which I haven't done before, I check them for viability. Some of the seeds have no seed in them. They're really tiny. They're flat. And so if you touch them, they don't have a bump. There's nothing in there. We had dismal germination last year on those. This is lettuce seeding number 12. I do it twice a week. Seed lettuce, Mondays and Fridays. I do about 1,800 seeds each time, give or take a few. I know. have the name of the lettuce on there. We have 25 different varieties today. And the date when it's seeded. Lettuce needs to be germinated cool temperature, not warm. If you germinate it in warmer temperatures, it takes longer to germinate. This is 1/2 of a 200 plug tray. I have 100 little holes in there, and one seed has to go in each of them. She has to plant that many a week. So she plants lettuce. You cannot plant lettuce in the heat of the day. So every morning, every night, she plants lettuce. I was helping another flower vendor, a greenhouse guy up in Gravenhurst about 17 years ago on Wednesdays at the market. And then my husband died in '96. And so that year when I was helping Ken, Diane asked me if I would like to work on a farm. And I said, yeah. As long as you understand, I have absolutely no experience on it. I'm willing to learn. And I've been here ever since. And this was 16 years ago. So I fill it up, water it, not too much, just enough for the seeds. If you put too much water in, it will rot. If it's not enough and it's too dry, it's not good for them either. When I was really sick, my husband had heart disease. So, I had cancer and I was told a year and a half at the most. I said, well, I can't really die because he wouldn't be very good on his own. So I flooded my body with vitamin C, like 26 grams a day for almost a year. Had some surgery, had radiation treatment, had radiation damage, had more surgery. Fine, I'm fine. 7 years later, I had kidney cancer that was caused by the radiation. They didn't shield, I had radiation from here. So one kidney developed cancer and they took it out, and that's okay, and that was back in '89. I've been okay ever since. I've done a lot of things here in Canada, and I find there's never a job that can't teach you anything that you can't use later on in life. I've worked in a factory, I've made cables for Bell Canada machinery or their electric stuff. I've worked as an occupational therapist in a children's TB hospital. And now I'm a gopher on the farm, or whatever you want to call it, a farmhand. I don't drive the tractor. It's one of the things I don't do. But, whatever needs doing. Get the soil wet. You had to get up a couple of times a night to go into the air raid shelter because we had the air raids. And you woke up, and sometimes in the morning there was a house that was there in the daytime, and there was just a big hole suddenly. But as a child, the way children collect stuff. We collected bomb fragments, little metal fragments. We were not starving, but we were hungry a lot of times because the food there wasn't very nourishing, and there wasn't very much of it. But I said we were never starving, but hungry. And nowadays food has to be fun for children to eat it. We were waiting for the next meal, no matter what it was. And I remember back in '44 or so, my dad was in the army, so Mom brought us up, and there was no food for the next day. So Mom and I went around at midnight, went to a farmer's field with one little shopping bag, and we stole potatoes, dug them out of the field. If they caught you, they couldn't prosecute you because you were just stealing for immediate consumption, but they would beat you up. They would hire off-duty policemen to police their fields because some people were doing that. We didn't get caught. Well, there was also a thing that we had. My sister is one sister is 4 years older than I am. I was 14, she was 18, and she and a friend, they would go up and talk to the policemen, you know, young girls talk to the policemen while we were at the bottom of the field stealing potatoes. Mom was a tailor, and she did sewing for the butcher and for the baker. And so some of it she got in money and some of it she got in trade. So that helped a bit with food. Because after the war, for about 2 years, we didn't know whether my father was alive or not. We didn't hear from him. He was alive, he was a prisoner of war. So, no, my mom had a hard life. You know, trying to bring us up during the war. I came to Canada from Germany. I was 26 back in 1958. So I just turned 80. I trained in accounting. And I've done, well, that was the only thing I did in Germany. I apprenticed in a company. And at that time, you apprenticed to a company and you sort of stayed there until you retired. It isn't like that anymore, but it used to be like that. I came by myself and I didn't really know my husband. A girlfriend of mine, her boyfriend, had a friend here in Canada, and he said, he's looking for a wife, are you interested? I said, why not? So we started writing to each other, wrote for about 6 months, and then I ended up here. And 3 months later we got married. We were married for 39 years. Sometimes stormy. You know, he was an artist, and sometimes I'm not too patient. You know, so. But we had a good marriage. Yeah. I have the opportunity. I'm glad to Diane to have given me the opportunity to do this. Every day, even when I feel tired, and I do some days. Right now, you know, I'm bunching chard, and so, but you make a bunch, and it looks good, and you trim it, and you just look at it for a moment, and there is a moment that makes you feel good, without realizing it, but the way your body responds to it. There is beauty there. She's got a trust capital there, yes. I call it a trust capital, that people know that when they get stuff from her, it is good. They can trust that the stuff that comes from her is good. It's up to you to present that quality. Diane has a very high standard of quality, and you have to stick to it. It's also more fun to me. Diane always said, when you have a farm, you are not in charge. Nature is in charge. And she's right. Don't worry about things. Don't take yourself too seriously. I make my own bread. It's organic. I grind the grain when I make it, before I make it. And I practically live on bread. It's for Jane at the Muskoka Natural Food. And I'll weigh 2.5 pounds. And then tomorrow we put them in plastic bags, and I put the labels on, so all we have to do is dump them in. You know, you have to make sure that quality is good and also that it looks good. To me, something has to have what I call a wow factor. You open up a tote, and you say, wow, looks good. But it has to be good too. We're washing the lettuce, taking it apart. This is what we call Muskoka mix. We taking the lettuce apart. Each leaf gets washed individually 3 times, and then it gets spin dried. We have some beautiful washing machines doing that. And then they get layered in a tote with paper towels to take off the last of the moisture. And tomorrow morning they get put into little bags, plastic bags, about ½ a pound each, and nasturtiums, edible flowers on top for delivery to some of our customers. And we call that Muskoka mix. These are the leaves that are not quite good. They have spots on them, and they'll go to the sheep, so nothing is ever wasted. Sheep, cattle, chickens, everybody gets some stuff. So nothing around here is wasted. Hey there. How are you? Good morning.
Anyway, so that's kind of now what time we operate. What we tried was a 7th grade, closest to whole wheat.
Okay, look out. See what I can
Nothing.
do. It's a man's job.
What else can you ask of life? Sitting at home, watching TV, there is no, I don't know, satisfaction, gratification, whatever. This is something, it made me feel good because I'm doing something that I enjoy and something good comes off it. And it benefits somebody else. It doesn't just benefit me. I just don't do it for my own benefit